And now it's time for the Ask the Angry Ninja Show. Alright, it's the Ask the Angry Ninja Show. What? Alright, so I gotta call somebody out. And this is a public Instagram post I'm calling out, so I really don't feel guilty about this. But the comedian Moonshyne Jones. Jason E. Jones. You know what, dude? At one point, I have a lot of respect for, and I actually still respect on a little bit, not as much as I used to, because not because he's a Trump supporter, not because he's a Republican, because we can all have different views and get along. That's not the issue. It's some of the things he makes a comparison to I just don't understand. Now, here's something we can both agree on. The Baton, which I'm probably saying wrong, because you know what? It's the name of a Filipino place that I can't pronounce, and I apologize. Death March. It was a horrible, horrible event. During World War II, they forced marched a bunch of prisoners, a bunch of American soldiers, like 60 miles. They tortured them while they were marching. They were tied up while they were marching, and a lot of them died. And it was horrible. And this happened, let's see, where did it happen at? It was, the Japanese did it. They did it in Filipino. I got it all right here, like in front of me. They following the surrender prisoners were massed in Marvelis and Baka, and they were ordered to turn their possessions, and then they were forced to march. And and they died. And it was just like a 60-mile march. It was horrible. They were tortured. They were tied up. The Japanese did this. It was a forcible transfer by the Imperial Japanese Army of 60,000 to 80,000 American and Filipino prisoners of war from Sasan Point, Baka, to Camp O'Donnell and another place. And it was a forced march, and it was horrible, and soldiers died. And I feel like they got their comeuppance because we nuked Japan, just saying. It's not like there wasn't consequences for the action. Then those soldiers were put on war crime trials, and it was bad. It was a bad event, okay? Now, this is my problem. This is where I'm like, dude, whoa, right? Okay, bad, correct. He compared this because apparently on news or something, he saw a story where people were complaining about the Japanese internment camps during World War II. Okay? They're like, yeah, we were World War II camps, Japanese internment camps, but this is what the Japanese did, so they're bad. But there's a difference. And this is the part where he doesn't get it, and a lot of people, anybody trying to make this comparison doesn't get it. And it absolutely drives me crazy. They did this, so it's okay. But most of the Japanese in American internment camps were U.S. citizens. They lived here. They were Japanese, but they lived here. They weren't soldiers. They weren't captured in battle. We went to their homes and took them to internment camps. It was horrible. We did this to American citizens who did nothing wrong. Now, I'm not saying the soldiers did anything wrong, because they didn't. But they were prisoners of war. They were combatants. And if you go into war as a soldier, you kind of have to expect bad shit can happen. Should it happen? No. Should it have been a war? No. But if you're a dude sitting in your house watching TV going, damn, this war's messed up. I don't support this at all. Man, I wish the Japanese would knock it off. They're making me look bad. And then some dude comes in your house and goes, hey, we're going to put you in a internment camp because we don't trust you. But they hadn't done anything. There's a massive difference between, war criminal, or not war criminal, participant in war, captured, than American citizens sent at home. Because we're not talking about illegal aliens. We're not talking about people who snuck over here. We were talking about this mostly, honestly, descendants of Japanese that worked on like the railroads. And with the Chinese, like, come on, because China, we did this. This is a stain on America. It's one of the bad things we did. Just like slavery is a stain on America. It's a bad thing we did. We have to acknowledge that we did it, make amends, which we did. We made an amends. and learn from this mistake and move on. Not compare it to prisoners of war. It's different. It's a different thing. Like, we took our citizens and put them in internment camps. We didn't take Japanese soldiers and did this. We did this as citizens. That's different. It's wrong. We shouldn't have done it. It was wrong. And again, like, that kind of statement on his part, like why this is one is, I don't get the comparison at all, because we're talking two totally different things. Like, yes, it was a war crime. Yes, it was bad, but it was a war crime. It was soldiers. It was, when you sign up to be a soldier, you know you're signing up for the possibility of having this kind of crap happen to you. Okay? You're a dude at home, like, I don't want to be in no war. I'm not signing up for no war. I don't want to do no war. I want to sit home and touch my pee-pee. Okay. That's your thing. You shouldn't be drug out and thrown in a camp. So, yeah. And we didn't do it to the German descendants. We didn't do it to the white people because they were white. That could have been German descendants. You know, we didn't throw them in internment camps. They did get a little crazy about it, like thinking anybody who spoke German might have been a spy. It's kind of addressed in a movie called U-571. Great movie, by the way. Oh my God, U-571. Okay, so a couple things about this movie. One, amazing movie, but in the theater that I particularly watched this movie in, I thought I was going to go deaf, because half the movie is them trying to bomb the submarine with depth charges. I like half the movie. It's great. And like the bass system in this thing, the seats were vibrating so much like a massage, right? Like, but my ears were hurting. God bless my father. Like, the ninja that my dad was, literally explosions for 2 hours of this movie. I don't know how long the movie was, whatever. But half of this movie, nothing but explosions. And my dad sitting next to me, stone cold asleep, out cold. Like, my eardrums are bleeding, and my dad's like, "What up?" I'm like, "Love you, Dad. Miss you." Just saying. It was amazing. But, yeah, watch that movie. But the guy who could speak German, because he went to a German college, or not a German college, American college, to just learn German. They're like, oh, but still, they ended up using him as an asset in the war. They didn't lock him up in an internment camp because he could speak really good German. Go figure. So, but yeah, you can't compare what a country did to its own citizens to what another country did to prisoners of war. That's different. It's a totally different topic. Totally different subject. I'm not saying what they did was right. Let's make that very clear. What they did was very fucking wrong. But it's not the same as locking up your own citizens. Like, that'd be like right now, if we went to war with, let's see, we went to war with Iraq. Like, it's not something that hasn't happened before. The war in the Middle East. So we chose to put all the Middle Easterners in our country in internment camps. But citizens. Nah. Why? Is that fair? Is that awesome? Is that what we should do? Because that's basically what happened in World War II. It'd be like after 9/11, we took all the Middle Easterners and locked them up in internment camps because we're at war with the Taliban. That's the equivalent. That would be a fair comparison. Guess what? We learned from our mistake, and we didn't do that this time. So, I'm just aggravated with, I saw this, and I was like, you can't make this comparison. I don't, and more importantly, you're a comedian. Put some funny stuff up. Man, you're hilarious. And I agree with a lot of things you say. I'm not going to lie. You're kind of awesome. But Moonsyne Jones, man, come on. If you're going to make a comparison, make one that makes sense. Like, you are an intelligent person. You served our country. Thank you. You know the difference between a civilian and a military combatant. There is a difference. You understand the difference of doing something to your enemy than doing something to your own people. That's the difference. Okay, now moving on to the January 6th hearings. We're we're gonna keep this one a little short, but wow, they've only released one. I only had one hearing so far they posted, but woo, man, woo. Okay, enough of the noise effects. Can you believe? Can you believe that Ivanka Trump came out and said, "Yeah, my dad lied. I know my dad was wrong. My dad's a piece of shit." Well, she didn't say piece of shit, but she basically said her dad was a piece of shit. She knew the election wasn't rigged and stolen, and they all tried to tell him, but he wouldn't listen, and the motherfucker sat there and ate Cheerios while the shit was going on and wouldn't stop it, even though everybody was telling him to stop. Oh, your own daughter, the one you want to... Trump wants to sleep with his daughter. Let's just be realistic. I'm like, ooh, she's cute. I think I've seen her somewhere before. Oh, your own daughter, like, testified against you. Like, everybody's testified. Oh my God, you're so screwed. And there's probably gonna be no criminal charges, but oh my God. Oh, dude, your own daughter, really? I don't know how you survive this politically. I don't. And not because I think your followers are going to suddenly watch this and support you, because one of the most ridiculous things about this is, it, in my mind, proved by Fox News is no longer fucking news. I don't think it's been news for a long time, and no, I'm not going to sit here and defend MSNBC because MSNBC or CNN, any of the other ones, because they go the other way too far. But at least they report everything. They aired the hearing with minimal commentary. They did like 10 minutes in the middle when there was a recess. That was about it. And then they talked about it was over. But they aired the hearing uninterrupted. They just played it. They didn't, so you could draw your own conclusions. If I want to watch news and actually get any kind of facts without injection, I listen to NPR or the BBC when they report in America, because the BBC just doesn't give a shit. They're like, this is what happened. Make your own decisions. We don't care. And they're like, yeah, no, right. Trump's an asshole. But Fox News not only didn't air it, but they wouldn't even talk about it. Really? This is probably the biggest news story of the year, these hearings. And even if you don't agree with them or think it should have happened or, think they're lying, I guess, you should still show it and then put up your point of view. Like, what's so wrong with that? Like, I'm not going to agree with your point of view, I don't think, because I don't see why these people are lying. They have a lot of evidence to back up everything they're saying. But yeah, you should at least air it. Like, what the hell? I'm not going to air it because it makes me look bad. Well, don't do dumb shit and it won't look bad. Yeah. So Fox News, what little credibility you might have had is completely gone because you don't even report on the news. What the hell? What's wrong with you? All right. So, but yeah, no, Trump's daughter came out and like, yeah, the election wasn't stolen. Nothing was wrong. Bill Barr came out and said the reason he quit is because Trump wouldn't accept the fact that there was no voter fraud, that the election wasn't stolen. So the data people who work for Trump, the Republican data people who do elections, came in and told him, said, no, there was none. And Trump's like, yes, there was. I said so because my hair is orange. Yeah, so guess what? The election wasn't stolen. Biden won. And Biden didn't win because he's such a great president. Biden didn't win because he was going to do such a great job. Biden didn't win because he was such an awesome choice. Biden won because people are tired of Trump shit. That's it. That's the reason he won. That's why there was a record turnout. Because everybody's like, oh my God, we just went normal again. And Mugs are like, oh, Biden's doing such a great job. No, I don't think Trump has done any better. When I looked at my ballot this time, I made a decision. I'm like, stupid or stupid evil. Because Biden's stupid, Trump evil stupid. I went with stupid. That's what I had a choice we had to make. I'm more disappointed in America right now. No, I don't hate America. But I'm more disappointed in America right now because those are the two choices you gave me. You couldn't give me somebody else. You couldn't give me a third option. You couldn't give me a better second option? That was it? This is the best we have? Those are the two best choices we have to run our country? Y'all, we can do better. We can do better on the Republican side. We can do better on the Democrat side. Both sides can do better. But you know what? It's either going to be Trump or DeSantis for the next one. And ain't neither one of them better. None. Like, we have one who wants to argue with Mickey Mouse, and Trump, who's delusional, who wants to believe what he wants to believe and doesn't care about truth. Which is weird because he runs a website called True Social, but fucking I went on it. I looked. I didn't see one bit of fucking truth. A bunch of delusional conspiracy theorists, and I love me conspiracy theory. Trust me. And there's some that are true, but the stuff they spout. Okay, Democrats don't eat babies. We don't do that. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a thing. We don't have blood rituals. Drink blood to live longer. Nancy Pelosi's not Satan. I don't think she's an awesome political leader, but she's not Satan. And Mitch McConnell's an asshole. That's not what conspiracy theories. I just wanted to say Mitch McConnell's an asshole. So that's the things in the world today. So yeah, the January 6th. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm sad that I only got to listen to the audio because I work and couldn't watch the video. So I listened to the audio of it, which is not as good because from what I understand, the video was very telling and very emotional. And honestly, just listening to it, I was like, that's fucked up because he literally had the cop. The first cop that was injured, which how they narrowed that down, amazing, like awesome. Like they showed the video of her being injured, like while she's sitting there. It'd be hard on her too. So anyway, we're gonna just keep all that in mind. And I invite Moonsyne Jones to come on here and talk to me and discuss this because I'm that kind of guy. I really do. I don't think that was a fair comparison, and no country, America or any other, should lock up its own citizens because we're fighting their home country, even though they don't live there. Like they literally put it in Japanese who Japanese in heritage only, never been to Japan in internment camps. Just saying, like that's not cool. Not cool. All right, guys, that is a short show for the day. I hope everybody liked it. I know I'm getting a little more political stuff, less comedy, but we're going to get back into some funny stuff. Just when you see something that drives you crazy, say something. Like you got to. You got to get it off your chest. And I feel a lot better. I feel like that's off my chest. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you guys again another time. Ninja out. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's all part of the Ninja Podcast Network with all the shows featuring Ask the Angry Ninja Show, Not a Kid's Game, presented by the Angry Ninja, which is our D&D podcast, the Ninja News and Politics Show, Sports Talk with the Ninja and J-Mo, and our newest podcast, Outrageous Stories with the Ninja, featuring occasional special guests. Great shows, great stuff. If you want to reach any of us, you can go at asktheangryninja@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter at cman2342. You can get us on Facebook on the Ask the Angry Ninja Show Facebook page. Any of those places, if you want to support us, we appreciate that. Go to patreon.com/worstjokes. And if you join high enough tier, you'll get a free gift. And we just appreciate any support and feedback. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll holler at you later.